Good morning, everyone. Let us discuss about the working principle of DC generator. First of all, what is mean by emission? Emission means it is a device which converts one form of energy into other form of energy. That mission can convert electrical energy into mechanical energy, which is called as DC motor. If it is a DC generator, it converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. So this energy conversion is based on the principle of dynamically induced EMF. So the principle behind the dynamically induced EMF in the sense, whenever a rotating conductor cuts the magnetic field, EMF will be induced in that conductor according to Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. So that is the dynamically induced EMF. So this EMF causes a current to flow if the conductor circuit is closed. So to produce an EMF, we require two essential parts of electrical generator. One is magnetic field, another one is a conductor or conductors which can move as to curb the flux. So to discuss about the working principle of DC generator, here I am considering a simple coil of ABCD, simple coil of wire ABCD is mounted on a shaft between the two magnetic poles. So we have taken simple coil of wire ABCD which is mounted on a shaft and it is placed between the two magnetic poles. So the two ends of the coil are connected to two slip rings which are mounted on the same shaft. Clear? So ABCD coil is connected to two slip rings that are A and B slip rings. That slip rings are mounted on the same shaft of the coil. Okay. So and again we are placing two collecting brushes which is pressed against the slip rings. The function of the brush is to collect the current induced in the coil and convey it to the external load resistance. Okay, so the entire this arrangement constitutes a simple loop generator. So mainly here we are having ABCD wire coil and two slip rings that are placed on a single shaft, and we are placing the brushes which are pressed which pressed against the slip rings. That brushes are connected to the external load. The function of the brush is to collect the current from the coil. See, so now, let us assume that coil rotates in clockwise direction. Observe here, the coil is rotating in clockwise direction. Actually, it is placed in the two poles, between the two poles, right? So in its initial position, the conductors AB and CD are moving parallel to the magnetic lines of force. See here, so flux is flowing from north pole to south pole, right? So the coil is placed at position 1 now. So means here the position of coil and at the same time flux lines are parallel each other. At this case induced EMF is 0. See, so at position 1, observe the graph which is plot between EMF and the position of the coil, nothing but cycle. See, so at the position 1, EMF induced is 0. Why? Because flux cut is 0 at that position. So and as the coil continues rotating further, the rate of change of flux linkages increase till position 3 is reached. Means if it is moving from position 1 to 3, it is making an angle of 90 degrees to the flux lines of force, right? So hence maximum EMF is induced in the coil when the coil is in the when the coil comes to the position 3. Okay, like this. Next, in the next quadrature revolution, that is from 90 degrees to 180 degrees, the induced EMF varies from maximum to 0 gradually. So during this half revolution, the flow of current is along ABML CD. So now current is flowing during this half revolution. The flow of current is along from A to B, B to M, then M to L, L to C, and C to D. Again it will return to A. So that is current through the load resistance is from M to L, right? So in the next half revolution, that is from 180 degrees to 360 degrees, the variation in magnitude of the EMF are similar to those in the first half revolution, except the direction of current path is reverse. That is, current flow along DC LM BA. See here, now current flows from D to C, then C to L, L to M, and then B to A. Now here we can easily understand that the current in the load resistance is reversed whenever it is compared to the previous half revolution. In the first half revolution, the current through the load resistance is from M to L. Now present half revolution, current is from L to M. Okay, so it is carrying current. It is carrying current. What is the nature of this? What is the nature of this current means? Alternating current. But we have to produce the direct current. So in order to produce the direct current, we are going to replace the slip rings with split rings. So we are going to replace the slip rings with split rings. See, so therefore we find that the current which we obtain from such a simple loop generator reverses its direction after every half revolution. Okay, so such a current undergoing periodic reversals is known as alternating current, right? So for making the flow of current unidirectional in the external load resistance, the slip rings are replaced by split rings. So split rings are nothing but which are made of a conducting material which is cut into two halves or segments, and those segments are insulated from each other by a thin layer of mica. Clear? So here slip rings are replaced with split rings. Okay, so those are manufactured or made with conducting material which is in the form of cylinder that will be cut into two halves or segments, and those segments are insulated from each other by a thin layer of mica, right? So the two ends of the coil are connected to these segments, that are S1 and S2, and now here also brushes are placed against the split rings. See, observe here now. In the first half revolution of the coil, the current flows along ABML CD A, that is, the brush B1 is in contact with segment, or the brush B1 is in contact with S1, which is acting as positive terminal of the supply, and now brush 2 is in contact with S2, right? So which is acting as a negative terminal, right? So in the next half revolution, In the next half revolution, the direction of the induced current in the coil has reversed. Okay, but at the same time, the position of segments S1 and S2 have also reversed. So with the result that brush B1 becomes in contact with brush B2, brush B1 becomes in contact with segment S2, which is now acting as positive, and the brush B2 is in contact with S1, which is now acting as negative. So thus current in the external load again flows from M to L. So this current is unidirectional current. This current is unidirectional here. Observe the figure here, that is unidirectional current. On the right side of the slide, we can observe the unidirectional current direction. Okay, so this is the working principle of DC generator. Okay. So here to actually the generated EMF or generated current in a DC machine is alternating current. With the replacement of slip rings with the split rings, we are going to convert that alternating current into unidirectional current. Hope you understand. Thank you.